practical application. But I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not a photographer. How do I use this? Well, guess what? Right now, we're doing a lot of interaction remotely. We're using a lot of things, using computers, using phones, filming stuff, TikTok, YouTube, regular stuff on Instagram, etc. But having a little bit of an idea of how to light yourself so that your face can be seen not only can make things, just look a bit more professional, but it can also, get across more of the thing you're trying to create. Okay? So, if you don't have a ring light, because that's a whole thing, the trick with what a ring light does is that it's trying to create light in as many directions as possible at the same time, thus eliminating the harsh shadows that you might get under other circumstances. So, I'm going to take you around on a journey, and I'm going to show you what not to do and what's a little bit better to do if you're trying to sort of recreate the overall look of a ring light, even light source that doesn't have really sharp hot spots and really, really sharp shadows. One of the biggest problems that people run into when they're basically trying to either set up a scene on stage or film a shot in film or take a photograph is putting the light source behind the subject. When you put the light source behind the subject, the back is very bright, there's light coming like this past them, and usually their face is quite in shadow. It's not that this is a wrong choice, it's just a very specific choice. So if you're trying to do a more neutral lighting setup, by choosing such a dramatic way of setting up your lights, it might not actually get across the effect that you're trying to create. However, if you take the exact same thing, the exact same setup, I'm not going to move my feet, but all you do is turn 180, okay? Then you can actually take advantage of the fact that you've got that same light source, in this case, a window, shining evenly all over the face. The focus of the light is on the performer, or the subject if it's photography, and as you can see, the background is much farther back as far as how bright it is, okay? By changing where you're going to get your different light levels, etc., you can further adjust this. Light source from directly under you. Unless you're trying to do a spooky story at a campfire, not the best one. Light source directly over you. Again, pretty single direction. Not going to look like a ring light, but might be a choice that you want to make. This is another window with the regular light from outside being used. Not too bad. As far as your assignments goes, if you have done the 3 faces challenge, then you should have a pretty good idea of what did they do to create all of the type 1 faces, and then what did they do to create the type 2 faces. And as you were going through and creating it, you probably noticed that exact same process, that this sort of evenly lit is that first sort of face look, and having that face that is much more dramatically, much more dramatically lit in darkness. They actually were doing some really neat things with side lighting as well, which I don't have enough lights, but it would be playing around with having single direction lights with a lot of contrast that's overall pretty dark. So that should be kind of what. So as you're watching TV, checking out movies, scrolling through things on your phone, wasting time on TikTok, etc., etc., make sure that you keep this in mind. See if you can notice it. You see it all the time. Lighting is one of those sort of unsung heroes of how to tell a story. More on this later.